Welcome to the Mom's View. We've got Kayli, Angel, and two very special guests. Alana, some of you might know. She's got her own YouTube channel. And Sarah Moshman, I'm so excited that you guys are here. Welcome to the Mom's View.
Thank you.
Sarah, I know you've been working, you directed and produced this really exciting project called the Empowerment Project, right?
Yes.
Alana's told me a lot about it, but I'm so excited to meet you and hear everything about it from you. And we actually have a clip that we're just going to jump to so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Great.
In September of 2013, the five of us packed into a minivan to embark on a cross-country journey to interview strong career women in the hopes of creating more positive role models for girls everywhere. While on the road, we grew as women, as filmmakers, and as friends. A project like this does not say, oh, woe is me, I'm a woman in America trying to make it. Oh, it's so hard. It's not about that. It's about we live in a man's world, and just for a month, I'd like to live in a woman's world, just for 1 month.
That gives me chills when I see this. That is so cool, and it's something that rings true to like my heart, and I just love that you dedicated, how long did this project take to film? I mean, probably like a year or so?
The filming itself was 34 days.
Okay.
But from idea to completion will be about a year and a half.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start this project, and how did it all come together? How did Alana come on board? Like, how did everything happen? This is so cool. And can I be invited on the next road trip, please?
Obviously.
Me and the
Have
baby.
a sidecar for you and your baby.
Pieces.
Yeah, there'll be like a baby car.
It was like November of 2012, and I think I was just starting to pay more attention to the conversation that was going on around me, whether it was in the media or in magazines or on TV, and just realizing that there was so much competitiveness and cattiness between women instead of positivity. There's just there's no positive female role models being showcased out there. And I don't know, I read the Sheryl Sandberg's book, Lean In, and one of the big quotes in that book is, what would you do if you weren't afraid to fail? And I put that on my mirror, and I just sort of had this aha moment, like, if you're not gonna go out and create this content, then nobody will. I've always wanted to direct a feature. I've done shorts before. I was working in reality TV, so I was learning how to interview and shoot and use audio and stuff like that, but I wanted to take it on a much bigger scale and really see if I was capable of pulling this off and make a difference. So we went on Kickstarter. We raised over $28,000.
Wow.
60 days.
Cool. I have met so many people that have helped, like Kickstarter's helped their dreams come true.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
so powerful.
Little plug for Kickstarter, but that's so cool.
It's so much more than fundraising. It's really an amazing platform where you just go on and you say, hey, I'm Sarah Moshman, this is my dream, and if you don't mind opening your wallet and even give me $1, it'll help me make that come true. And then I met Alana because I know Nina, who worked actually on the Mom's View.
Oh, cool.
So she introduced me to Alana when I said I was in need of a director of photography.
Nice.
So in walks Alana. And
she interviewed me, but I didn't know anyone on the crew. I didn't know Sarah. And when we went into filming, all five of us women were just on the road, stuck together for 30 days. Like, I don't know you, but I'm just gonna try this. Okay.
Did I hear you say you covered 7,000 miles in a month?
we did.
Okay, so
LA to New York.
That's hard.
7,000 miles in a minivan. All five of us, our stuff, I mean, just imagine all 5 women's suitcases on top of the minivan.
What were some of the women like that you got to talk to?
Oh, so we interviewed 17 women in total.
Wow, okay.
Any industry you can really imagine, we covered it. So we had an astronaut and a pilot and a mathematician and a biologist and a ballerina and a stylist. I mean, we really tried to cover our bases in terms of age and diversity and career field, so that we really show a slice of life in 2014. What is like an ordinary career woman going through? What struggles does she face? Has she faced sexism or sexual harassment or whatever? And if not, what triumphs has she faced and how did she get through all those things? So it was just incredibly eye-opening to see the commonalities and the differences.
How did you find these women to be a part of it? Like, what do you put up flyers like, hey, are you an empowering woman?
Well, that's kind of the best part, is that women like this are everywhere. They're your neighbors, they're your moms, they're your mom's friends, they're your
You just gave me chills when you said
that. Well, that's the best part. And so when people ask me that, it's like, well, it wasn't that hard, because there's women like this everywhere.
Okay, so Sarah, you said in the beginning that you felt like there weren't any positive role models, but yet you had an easy time finding all these powerful women. So why do you think there's a discrepancy between what you're seeing in the media and then what you found in the documentary? Was there any revelation to why you think that was?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if any time you turn on the TV or open a magazine, women are often objectified or not present at all. And so this project is an attempt to change that conversation and to really lead the direction in a positive light. So yes, female role models are everywhere, and I knew that before going into it, but it was really like, let's just showcase these women that don't often get the airtime, don't get the screen time, that one would hope on a network television show or, you know, wherever. So I just think that the media controls the message, and oftentimes the media decides that women aren't worthy of those spots, or that a female role is more of an objectified role than a strong role. And so that needs to change, and that's going to take women being leaders in all aspects, whether it's in the writer's room or at the top of NBC, whatever network. So it's going to take a long time to get there, but this is my little way of trying to help go that direction.
Okay.
And a lot of the media, I think they don't realize that women in power will sell. They think only the sexualized women will sell magazines. But there's been a lot of projects coming out lately that are proving that's wrong. So that's cool.
Yeah.
They're trying it. It's working.
Well, I mean, we have the power. We're buying movie tickets. We're, you know, half the population and half the audience. So if we have half the say, then things will change. So
Tell me, how can we watch this? How can we support you? What can we do?
a fantastic company called Fickes is our distributor.
Okay.
And they came on board in a really exciting way, which means that starting in April, we're going to have a theatrical on-demand release, which means that a school or women's organization or really anyone that will have us can go on the website and book a screening of the Empowerment Project in their community. So our trailer's on our YouTube channel, but our trailer and the information on how to book a screening is at indieflix.com/empowerment project.
So that's the only way to see the full documentary.
The only way to see the documentary is to book a screening.
Okay, to book a screening. Okay, awesome. What are some of the biggest takeaways that you guys can talk about from your experience?
For me, at least, one of the big takeaways was you just can't let anything stop you. If you have a goal and it means that much to you, and I proved that to myself through the journey of this film, but even just meeting every single woman that we met along the way. I mean, they had obstacles, we all have obstacles, but if you get through those and you work hard and you persevere, you can achieve absolutely anything you set your mind to, which was so powerful to see time and time again. So and that failures are important, you know? It's okay to fail because you learn so much more from failure than you do from success, honestly. So that was a very eye-opening lesson that we learned over and over again, that it's hard to fail, of course, but it's very important in the course of your life as you look back. You will have learned way more from that than you will from an award or an accolade, etc. So
Fail up. That's what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's good.
I like that.
And also that there are no excuses. Like every woman had that moment where she's just did something that I would have given myself excuses, even if they're things you come up with in your own head, like, well, I'm just too tired, or I'm just too this, or, but that's not going to be at the right time, or, but then I'll have to do that. Like, there are a million excuses, but there are really no excuses. Like, none of those can really stop you.
I just finished Lean In.
Oh, good.
And one quote that I really liked that Cheryl said, and I don't think it was her quote, but it was something that was on the Facebook walls. It was said, done is better than perfect. And I thought that was really good. It's just important to go after things and not stress so much about being a perfectionist all the time.
Absolutely.
And I just thought that was one of those takeaways I had from that book. It's just get out there, get it done, and it doesn't need to be perfect. I think perfectionists a lot of times can hold themselves back because they're waiting for the perfect moment to, release whatever it is, or write their book, or put their YouTube video up, or whatever the case may be.
No, really, that's how I had to live my YouTube channel as. I was like, it's done. Mistakes and all. It's done.
It's totally okay to make mistakes.
And I like the thought of women empowering each other to feel that way. It's okay to not be perfect, because I feel like sometimes women can be so hard on each other. Like, oh, she didn't do it that good, So it's so nice to have women empowering other women.
We have to stick together if we're ever going to advance. As a human race, not women versus men, but just as people, we all have to support each other if we're going to advance.
It's so frustrating to hear that there's women that want to bring you down, and that sometimes other women are some of your biggest obstacles, and not even men at all, that just there's other competitive, jealous, kind of catty women, and I think that is a huge thing that needs to be changed.
Yeah, I always have to remind myself, especially being an actress, and we literally are competing for the exact same thing a lot of the time.
Sitting in the room with
Oh yes, one of my girlfriends, I'm so happy for her. She recently found out she booked a series regular on a new show. I'm so happy. It has not happened for me yet, but I always remember my success is not dependent upon someone else's failure.
Right.
So important.
So true.
And to have that in my head of just because somebody else is working all the time does not mean that my not working has anything to do with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it is a very hard mindset to be in, especially if you're in a very competitive field where you're like, but no, I need you to lose. I need to beat you, but that's not, but that's, that can't be your focus, I guess. Yeah.
Plus, you can't control what they want in that role. All you can do is go in and be the best person you can be at that thing. And then if they pick you, great. If not, it wasn't meant to be. And
Right,
it's so
exactly.
hard to remind yourself of that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like a lot of like strong, powerful, confident women are always referred to as like a bitch, or you know, there's some sort of derogatory, you know, stereotype that comes along with a woman who really wants to like succeed and is motivated and ambitious. Did you feel like a lot of the women that you met had overcome a lot of these obstacles, and
Absolutely.
what did they say about that, or what have you felt?
The architect that we interviewed, Catherine Darnstadt, she mentioned that exclusively said that people call her a bitch all the time because she's a very strong woman.
Yeah.
And she said, and I love this, that just comes from years and years and years of institutionalized sexism, and that's what we have to fight every single day. So I mean, we kind of just have to redefine what it means to be a strong woman.
And
that's
find
what we
the word
have to
bitch too, maybe.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Thank you.
I know, because I certainly call myself that proudly. Yeah.
Right. I mean, everyone's got their own, you know, connotations of that. Same with the word feminism. People really shy away from that or embrace it. So it's just about redefining these things in today's world. What does that mean for you, for today, for your job? And that's not easy, but if you let things roll off and you kind of embrace that and say, okay, well, if I'm a bitch for being powerful, I guess that's a good thing.
Right.
You know, it's just the way you approach it. And there's really no equivalent that we can say to men to make them feel the same way. That's what sexism is all about, turning it on its head, and that's how you know it's sexism, is because if you can say something to a man that makes them feel that same way, then that's a good way to think about it, because that happens a lot with me and my husband. I'm like, well, if I said that to you, would you feel that way? No. You know, so like I always try to flip it, and usually there's nothing that you can say to a man that would make them feel objectified or make them feel like how I might feel when someone calls me a bitch. You know, like it's not easy. So that's one way to think about it. And the last thing that we really learned when we were on the road, especially from a chef named Mary Nguyen in Denver, was you don't necessarily have to find passion in your work. You just have to find passion in your life. And if passion is your work, then it becomes your life.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Which I thought was really smart and so true.
I heard somewhere, I can't remember where, and I wish I could remember exactly what it said, but it said, if you have passion for something, then it's your calling, and you should do it. And that's true. Like, this was your passion, and it was your calling, and it's going to make such a difference. So we should always, like, follow our passion if possible.
Whatever it is, And it is hard to find your passion. I mean, I feel like I've gone through different waves of life, and my passions have changed too. You know, I used to be a makeup artist, and I was so obsessed with like making people look and feel beautiful, and now I just like to host a show called The Moms. That's my passion.
But you still do your passion on your YouTube.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're still.
Yeah.
And your passion can be your family as well. It doesn't have to be work related. I think as women we beat ourselves up when we can't find a passion. It's not what we're earning income from and all those things. But as long as you have passion somewhere in your life, then I think you're going to be much more well balanced.
Right. The thing that I'm most passionate about are my children, and that gives me the most reward, more than anything that I could ever do, is watching my kids grow and their happiness. So that's exactly right. I love that.
Yeah, I think that men have that problem too. Because of the whole mentality of having to provide and not being able to find a passion in a 9 to 5, and they hit that midlife crisis because they're like, what have I been doing all this time? So I think that is like a human thing of being able to find that thing that'll feed you when you do it, so that it makes you want to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And what was great is because it was our journey as well, I actually interviewed my mom and my mother-in-law.
Oh, wow.
And
so heartfelt.
And my
These scenes are great.
Thank you. My mother-in-law has been a stay-at-home mom for, upwards of 30 years. And it was a fantastic interview with her. I felt like a new respect for her in more regards than I'd ever before. And I'd love to share this with you, that she said she wasn't just somebody's mom.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I thought it was so powerful that she was saying, just because I'm not working, the typical working, I am working. I'm a mother, and I didn't want someone else to raise my kids, and I'm not just somebody's mom. And it was just like so powerful. And so we added that aspect as well, because it's about empowering women in any facet they decide to empower themselves. It's about being a leader of your life, whether that's the CEO or you're leading your life to be a stay-at-home mom, whatever that is. So it's not about career. It's just about women need to be leaders in their lives.
I think that's great that you included your mom as a stay-at-home mom and stuff, because that's the hardest job in the world.
So much work.
Exactly.
You never
I'll
get a
soon
day
find
off.
out.
Yes, exactly. That's what she said. She said her kids are yelling for her in the laundry room, like, Mom. Like she'd try to get a break, and they're like,
you're like,
finding
you have
her.
to I'm taking a shower. I just need 15 minutes, but then you still have like people knocking on the door every time I get in the shower.
Mama.
I have to go to the bathroom. Okay.
I would encourage everyone to interview their mothers if they have the chance. It was really powerful. Whether the camera was rolling or not, it was just really nice to sit down with my mom as well, who has been a career woman, and just say thank you.
Absolutely.
So that's it for our show. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I love what you do. I can't wait to see the full documentary. I hope lots of people out there are able to book a screening. And that's all for our show today, guys. Just so you guys know, you can always continue the convo online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. Use the hashtag TMVTalk to connect with us. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.